Hey ladies, welcome back to the live. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like the video. I hope you guys can hear me. Hold on, let me just test the sound. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I wanted to come on and do this live because I watched another live last night of a woman who's involved in the red pill space, and she did a live with a divester, and she had some interesting things to say. Like, the panel was really good, and they talked about single motherhood rates. So a few things about the single motherhood rates for Black women is she brought up the Pew Research study. I'm actually gonna share my screen. Oh, well, wait, hold on. So she brought up the Pew Research study of Black women who are solo parents, and that it's at 89%. It's at 89%, right, for Black female solo parents. But what she decided to conclude from that study is that majority of those women are sleeping, multiple Black women are sleeping with the same Pookie and Ray Ray, because 11% of the solo parent rate for Black men is only 11% versus the solo parent rate for Black women is 89%. So with that, she concluded that that means that all Black women who are solo parents are only that way because they keep sleeping with the same Pookie and Ray Rays. So let me tell you why that is completely 100% false. People all over the manosphere space continue to put these lies on Black women, making it seem like well, I'm not a mom, but making it seem like Black women who are single mothers are just all having kids by the same crusty, low down, dirty dudes. And that's just not the truth. So I'm going to share my screen to show you guys a few things. This isn't going to be a very long live, but make sure that you like the video. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so I have not that one, not that one, that one. Okay, so I have the study that talks about Black women solo parents, Black female solo parents are 89%. It's highlighted right here. You guys can see that. Okay, compared with cohabiting parents, solo parents are more likely to be female and Black. Because cohabiting parents are overwhelmingly opposite sex couples, they are about evenly split between men and women. Among solo parents, however, the vast majority, 81%, are mothers, only 19% are fathers. This gender difference is even more pronounced among Black solo parents. 89% are mothers and just 11% are fathers. So a few things before we can just confirm that Black women are having kids with all the same type of guys, right? Just a few things. Let me see what we have here. So there's a difference between being a baby mama and being a single mother. Single mothers are more so women who were divorced or are just not legally married, so they can be in long-term relationships, they could be cohabitating. So we have to take that into consideration. Now, a solo parent is just a woman who is parenting a child by herself. She's parenting a child without the man investing emotionally, physically, or financially into the child's life. She is parenting the child 100% alone. So this study, people in the manosphere like to take this study and make it seem like it's Black women who are sleeping with lots of men, which is which is why they're having all these kids alone. But it doesn't make any sense. 11% are Black fathers, right? So all that means is that 11% of Black men are parenting their children by themselves. That does not mean that 11% of Black men are the only, or not of Black men, but of Black fathers are the only ones parenting kids and not leaving. And all the other Black fathers are married. It actually debunks that. Only 8% of Black men, it says that right here, amongst married fathers, however, are more likely than unmarried fathers to be white and less likely to be Black. Married fathers, however, are more likely than unmarried fathers to be white. So what this last sentence is saying, that white men are more likely to be a father and to be married at a rate of 61% versus Black men who become fathers and are married, and that's only at 8% of a rate of a chance. Right? Like that's what that means. So when you hear people in this space talking about, Black women are the most single mothers and they're sleeping with all the same Pookie and Ray Rays because, it's 89% are mothers for Black women and 11% are fathers. That is not true. That is a lie. It is a lie to say that Black women are sleeping with the same group of men having all of their babies at a rate of 89%. That's not true. What the 89% single motherhood rate means is that 89% of these Black mothers are solo parents. Solo parents. What it means to be a solo parent is you are parenting your child by yourself. Marriage, divorce, the father deceased, whatever the reason is, that's what it means, right? Maybe you are a baby mama and the father is just not involved in no way, shape, or form in the child's life. Maybe you were married and you got divorced and the father doesn't have custody, or you had a baby by a man and he died, right? You are either way, you are a solo parent when you parent children by yourself. So it's more than just being a baby mama. This study that they talk about, the 89% Black women are single mothers and the 11% are single fathers, does not in any way, shape, or form confirm that Black women all sleep with the same Pookie. So this is a lie. This is a lie that is a lie that a lot of people in this space want to spread about Black women, right? Thank you, ladies, for coming in. Please make sure to like this video. This is very, very important. And I'm not even a mom. I've never been married. I don't have any children. I'm still under the age of 30. But this is the main thing that I see in regards to um, Black women all of the time in this space, that Black women have the high single mother rates, right? And even though that is true, the solo parent rate for Black women are high. But the reason for it is not because Black women are all sleeping with the same Pookie and Ray Rays, because that's not what that means to be a solo single parent. To be a solo single parent means you have custody of your kids and you are taking care of them by yourself. It does not mean that those women have slept around with multiple men time and time again, which is why the fatherhood rate is lower for Black men, because there are a small amount of Black men who have sole custody of their children. That's a very, very small amount. There's a small amount of Black men who are solo parents, meaning they are parenting their kids because the mother is not involved in any way, shape, or form. That number is very, very small amongst Black fathers. That's a very, very small amount. That's why. So a lot of people in this space will try to say that the reason why this number is small for Black men is because, Black men are responsible and they take care of their kids and they don't cause disruption in the relationship to be single parents. That's not true. Not true. Not true at all. All the single parent rates mean is that the people have sole custody of their kids and they are taking care of them by themselves. That's all that means. I don't know how these other red pill manosphere content creators can extrapolate that means Black women are sleeping around with the same dudes. Like, this is why it's so important to know how to read data and actually read the entire studies that come out so that you know what the truth really is. Okay? Because there is a difference between a baby mama and a single mother. A baby mama is just that, she's just a woman, who had a baby in general. But a single mother can also be a baby mama, but it's not solely just a baby mama. A single mother is also a woman who did have her kids within wedlock but divorced and got custody, so now she's a single mother. She can also be a woman who had kids in wedlock but the husband, father, deceased, so now she's a single mother. It could be a woman who adopted children, who's never birthed kids from her body ever, but she adopted children from either an adoption agency, or maybe maybe a person she knows died, so she took the kids in, and now she signed to be there to adopt them legally, so now she's a single mother. Like, there's things like that happen, right? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't take those things into consideration. Instead, they want to spread hatred amongst Black women by saying that we are very promiscuous and that we have lots of sex and we have lots of babies. One thing that content creator said last night on her channel, she said that Black women have a lot of sexual access. Of course, Black women do. So do white women. So do Asian women and Hispanic women. Women hold access to sex in general. That's not something that's exclusive to Black women. The thing that these channels and these content creators will try to do is they'll try to make things that are very much normal and prevalent in other societies and make it exclusive to Black women to shame you and to manipulate you into thinking you have problems, right? What was the first group of really raunchy women to hit the media? Playboy bunnies, right? They came out in like the 60s. It was a group of women who were very sexual. Hugh Hefner exploited white women all doggone day sexually and with no shame. And then you had Girls Gone Wild, right? That came out, what, I don't know, early 2000s, late 90s. I don't even know. I've never even watched an episode, but I've seen plenty of articles of white women going on Girls Gone Wild, right? And no one said anything about that. Matter of fact, if you look up all of where they are today, where are they now of the Girls Gone Wild, a lot of them are married to white men, right? After having such a crazy, convoluted past, right? So I'm so confused. I was so angry hearing this Black woman content creator for the red pill manosphere who quote unquote holds other women accountable and she's also an anti-divester, right? Go on her platform and actually say that the reason why there are so many Black single mothers and not a lot of Black single fathers is because Black women are all sleeping with the same group of Pookie and Ray Rays and having their babies left and right. That's what that means. When clearly this study doesn't confirm that at all. It says among solo parents. However, the vast majority, 81%, are mothers and only 19% are fathers. The gender difference is even more pronounced amongst Black solo parents. 89% are mothers and just 11% are fathers. What does it mean to be a solo parent? Let's just Google this. I'm doing this all on live so you guys can see this. Single parent. A single parent is a person who lives with a child or children and who does not have a spouse or live-in partner. Reasons for becoming a single parent include divorce, breakups, abandonment, domestic violence, rape, death, or death of the other parent, childbirth by a single person, or single person adoption. So that is what it means to be a single parent. It has nothing to do with Black women have been sleeping around with multiple men and or with the same group of men actually and having all their kids. That is not what that means. So really what you can get from this study, what you really can get is that more Black women have custody of their children than Black men do. That's literally all this study is saying. Why do Black women have more custody, have the most custody of kids born or in, than the fathers? Why is that? Well, there's other reasons too, like the father deceased, they divorced, and the woman won custody in court. But we also know a lot more, a lot more other reasons for that is because the father also abandoned and walked out, right? 11% of Black fathers are solo fathers. This only means that 11% of these solo fathers take care of their kids alone and by themselves. Like they tried to use this to say that the Black men are more responsible because they don't have kids everywhere. Somehow being able to take this small statistics for Black single fathers and extrapolate from it that, oh, Black men aren't having babies like that everywhere. What? The two are not the same. You can be a Black father without being married and without being a solo parent. You can be a Black father, meaning you can have kids in this world that you don't even talk to, that you don't even see, that you don't give money to, that you don't visit. And that is a large, large number. Believe me, it's so large that the mothers are the ones who are taking up the slack at a rate of 89%, right? That's what that means. That's what that means. And then I told you guys earlier that amongst Black men who are married fathers, that's only 8%. It's only 8%. So you have the fathers who have custody of their kids. That's one. And then you have fathers, Black fathers who are married. That's two, right? All under 15%, all very small numbers. So where are the rest of the Black fathers at? They're either dead or very much alive, but not involved with their kids, which is where the 89% of mothers come in, because this is how many mothers had to step up to the plate, right? So this frustrates me because I'm not a woman, I'm not a Black woman who has any children, and I've never been married, but this is my image. So even though I don't have kids yet, someone can very well say anywhere or anytime, or at least think that I'm going to end up being a single mom. But I'm only going to end up being a single mother the most if I engage with a Black man in that way, right? Because it says down here that white men are more likely to be married fathers at a rate of 61% than Black men are, which is only at an 8% rate. Meaning if you have children, if you are a Black woman who has kids, you have an 8% chance of your Black of the Black man who is the father of your kids marrying you because of it. 8% chance. That's what I'm gathering from this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I'm gathering from this, right? That's what I'm gathering. So this sentence right here says 4 in 10 solo mothers are white, meaning 40% of solo mothers are white, compared with 58% of cohabitating moms and 61% of married moms. So this last part doesn't have a breakdown by race, but if it did, even if you're white, even if you had kids with a white man and he doesn't marry you, the likelihood of him at least still living in the home and cohabitating with you is still higher than with a Black man. If that's if that's something you're interested in doing too. Right? And on this live that I was talking about that I watched last night, there was a divester on the panel. And she was saying that she is a single mom. She had kids with a white man, but they didn't end up married, and she decided to leave the relationship. However, the white man pays 100% for her lifestyle, for her pays 100% for everything for her and the child, and she doesn't even have to work. She doesn't even have to work. So, no, she's not married, but it was by her choice. But she still is being taken care of 100% by her man. So, even though she's not married, she is technically not a single parent according to the definition, because she is not parenting her child by herself. She's not parenting her child by herself. Why? Because her white father of her kids is paying 100% into the household to the point she doesn't even have to work. So it's also safe to assume, she didn't confirm this, but it's also safe to assume that the father is physically and also emotionally involved with the child. So she's technically not a single parent. She's technically not a solo parent. I'm sorry. She's not a solo parent because the white father is still involved in the child's life. She's just a mother who is single. She's just a mother who is single. The status of her being a mother is never going to change because she, had her child. But the status of her being single can change. She can remarry. She can cohabitate with another man. So there's differences in this. Not everything is black and white when it comes to single motherhood, which is why I needed to make this video and show this data and show these stats to let you ladies know that when they tell you 89% of solo parents are black mothers in the black community, of solo parents in the community are black mothers, it is not because those women keep sleeping with the same pookies and having all their doggone kids. It is because the fathers just can't be found, whether they're deceased, divorced, abandoned, whatever the case is. The mothers have to step up to the plate at a rate of 89%. And I will leave this live up. And I want you guys to blow this video the heck up. I am so sick and tired of people talking about this single motherhood crap for black girls. And then also, because I'm a young black woman, I'm under the age of 30. I know there's a lot of you ladies who watch me and are in the divestment space that are also young as well. We also have to break down the solo mother rate for black women by age, right? It's by age. The older you get, the more you're going to have more parents, married, single, or whatever, right? Young people everywhere are not even sleeping with each other and having kids. Like teen pregnancies are falling drastically, right? Let me show you guys something else. Number of black families with a single mother in the United States from 1990 to 2020. Can you guys see this? 2020. So I know it says 4,000, but it actually means million. 4.247 million single mothers in 2020. Why is this important? I just went over what it means to be a single mother, what it means to be a solo parent. When you have to do anything by yourself and you have a child, meaning the father is not investing financially, emotionally, or physically, you're considered a solo parent. A solo parent. Like I mentioned, that divester, she is technically not a solo parent. She's just a single parent. She's not a solo parent because her white baby father, her white ex who turned into the father of her child, is still investing fully into both of their lives. He's still very much involved. So she is not a solo parent. She's just a single mother. And there's only 4.247 million black single mothers out of 22 million black women as a population, right? Let me show you something else. This is from the United States Census website. Do you guys see this? 2019. This is the overall black, overall black, everything and anything black. Let me scroll all the way up here. I don't know why. Anyway. So total population of black people as of 2020 is 41,989,671. right? Of one race, Black people, meaning no biracials, no, just people that consider themselves 100% Black, right? I want you to look at these numbers between Black men and Black women who are 100% Black and how the populations change with age, right? So we already know that in as a whole, there's 52% Black females in the Black population and 47% for Black men. We already know we outnumber Black men, right? Look at the age breakdowns. Here we go. For male and female. So under the age of 18, Black men actually outnumber Black women, young Black boys under the age of 18. By not much, but there's still more of them, right? And then once we get to 18 and up, the Black men's population decreases. So what do we know from this? Well, we can know two things. One thing that we can know is that Black men aren't surviving at the rate that Black women are once they hit 18 and up. That's one thing we can most definitely confirm. We see it right here. Why is it that Black boys under the age of 18 outnumber Black girls under the age of 18? But once we hit 18 and up, the population for Black men decreased significantly and the population for Black women increased significantly. Okay, let's try 18 to 34. There's still a difference there. 35 to 64, an even more significant decrease. Black women outnumber Black men 35 to 64, right? And 65 and older, these are old people. Black men, even more of their population decreases compared to Black women. So what is this telling us? This tells us that Black men don't even live long enough past the age of 18 to continue on with the positive. Sorry guys, that was my phone. Don't even, what was I saying? They don't live long enough past the age of 18 compared to Black women up to the age of 65 and up. Right? This is from the census. That's all I'm going to say. I am not making this stuff up, guys. I'm not hiding it. I'm not misconstruing anything. I'm showing you guys what it is firsthand, right? Because these content creators, they want to come on the internet and misconstrue data to fit the narrative of the Black man. That's what they want to do. They don't want to tell you the facts. Am I sounding okay? My mic is still good? Okay, yes, I am. I just did a little mic check there. Okay. Right? So if you go to this link, you can browse through this and see anything and everything that has to do with Black people, from our relationship statuses, our unmarried, everything, right? So you know how they love to talk about the lack of marriages in the Black community and amongst Black people? They love to talk about that stuff, right? Well, according to the census households, there's 15 million Black households. Out of these Black households, there's 59% of them, which is more than half, are family households. To be a family, you need to have at least 2 parents and a child in the house. Right? And so then this one at the bottom says, with own children of the householder under 18, 27%. So 27% of family households have young kids, have minors. But this is interesting. Married couple families, 27%. So what's the difference between a family household and a married couple family? A family household is simply that, family. There's 2 parents and a child. What does it mean to be a parent? To be a parent, you do not have to birth kids to be a parent, right? You don't. You could be, this also can mean that there can be parents in the households, in one household living together, that did not birth the young folks living in there. So uncle, auntie, you and your mama, or something like that. That is a family household if they all claim to be there. Please like this video, ladies, if you haven't. This is very, very important because we're debunking these lies. We're debunking the lies today, right? Okay, so now we have female householder with no spouse present in family, 25%. Only 13% have female householders with kids under the age of 18, right? Male householders. Now, what I found interesting about this study is they didn't do a male householder and how many kids he's living with like they did for the woman. It's a little bit one-sided on some parts of the census, but I'm just going to blame that on the fact that the number is probably small because just showed you guys in the Pew Research, that a solo parent, the 89% solo parent rate for Black women, 89% of Black mothers, does not mean they all had babies by the same guys. It literally means that 89% of children born in single parent homes belong to Black women. That's all that means. So maybe the father died. The father straight up left. The father divorced and the woman just has custody. That's all that means. That's it. It doesn't mean anything else. But they didn't mention that in the census data because the number is really, really small for Black men who live with their kids. As a solo parent, it's very small number that Black men have custody. And then it's very small number for Black men who are married and have their kids. Like I just mentioned, ladies, you are better off having a child by a white man and him making you his wife at a rate of 60% versus if you had a child by a Black man, the rate of him making you his wife is only 8%. 8%. If you had a child with a Black man and he made you his Black wife, 8%. Right? That's why these female householders are so high. Right? So we have male householders, 18%. Living alone is 15%. Not living alone is 2.9%. Female householders, 22%, even more than Black men. This means that more Black women are the head honchos in their house compared to Black men. Living alone, 20%. So that means 20% of female householders are not only head honcho, but they ain't got no kids up in there. They ain't got no crazy men's up in there. They crazy mamas. They crazy daddies. So this means to me, if I'm thinking positively here, that there are 20% of female householders are living alone and living their best life. That's more of a healthy and, I would say, accurate assumption to make when it comes to Black women who are single and living alone. Meaning they work, right? To live alone, you need to have some credit, you need to have a job. Can't just be out here living alone and you don't have something established. Or maybe they're on Section 8 as well, but to be on Section 8 you need to have some kind of an income too. That's true too. And the average household size is only 2.58. Average family size is 3. So this is why when they talk about Black women are all having kids with the same group of guys, having multiple babies by the same group of guys, doesn't make any sense because the average size is only 2 to 3 people of a household. That doesn't make any sense, right? Oh boy, here we go. Marital statuses. Marital status. So marital status. Now married, except separated, is 29.5% of the Black population as a whole. We have 5% of Black people are widows, 11% of Black people are divorced, 3% are separated, 50% of the Black population has never been married at all. So y'all know they love to say 51% of Black men are single and childless, right? That's definitely nowhere near the truth. That is not true. They're not. That's not true. It's true for young Black boys, 18 to like 24, I think, but it's not true for Black men as a population. Absolutely not. So men 15 years and over, total is 15 million of them. Now married except separated. Hey, Princess Lexi, I think you were in the live last night. I saw you in the chat. Hey, girl. So I'm just debunking the lies that that content creator was saying about Black women because I watched it. And she said a lot of things that weren't true. They kept saying that Black men, 50% of them are single and childless. That's not true. Not as a population. That there's an age group attached to that. And they also said that Black women have high single motherhood rates because they keep sleeping with the same Pookie and Ray Rays and having all the kids, which is why only 11% of Black fathers are single fathers. That's not true. The single motherhood and single fatherhood rate solely has to do with custody. That statistic means 89% of children that belong to single parents are held by Black women. That's all that means. So that means you have a lot of other Black men out here who just ain't got custody of their kids, and the mama do. Yes, girl, you was drilling them. They was really mad and really bitter. They were calling lies on the statistics, and it was a hot mess. But let's continue. So men 15 years old and over make up 15% of the Black population. Now, this isn't all Black men and boys. This is just ages 15 and up. So you still got Black boys 14 and below, but obviously they have no business being in marriage statistics. So this is a good number. So currently married Black men are 32% as of 2020. Widowed, 2.5%. Divorced, 10%. Separated, 2.9%. Never married, 51.8%. And there was a lot of women that have said countless times that Black men are 70% unmarried. And they always correct you and say, no, it's only this number here, 51%. Once again, it's not true. Unmarried also includes widowed and divorced. You are unmarried if you are divorced. You are unmarried if you are widow. You are unmarried if you've never been married. So let's add up. I'll put my calculator up here. Let's add up these unmarried numbers. Never married, 51.8. I'm just doing a basic. Widow, 2.5. Divorce, 10.0. Okay, so we have 64.3%, right? 64.3. Usually on stats, though, ladies, they do like an average, like a, what is it called? What is that when something is 68, but people just say 70, or something is 61, so you say 60? I forgot. But either way, the number varies depending on the sources. And keep in mind that this was from 2019. So we don't know if this number has changed, if it was once 70 or not, but it's still majority of Black men are unmarried. Still majority of them are unmarried. I bring this up because we know that Black men love to be on here talking about all the options they got in Becky, in Mylene, in Maria. But yet they still remain the biggest and largest group of unmarried men compared to other men. Right? We know this. Right? So now we have the woman now. 26% of Black women are married. 8% are widowed. That's very interesting. So the thing about widowed is if you're a widow, That means you were, married once. So what they love to say, yes, it's called rounding. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. So sometimes they tend to round the numbers to make it, 60, 70 or whatever. So that, just not typing out decimals all doggone day, just round it up. But now that we're on the woman now, you have now married are 26%, 8% widowed. So clearly these Black women, 8% of this group of women right here had a husband, but he died. So that's out of her control. So I'm going to add up this number because one thing they like to say is they like to say that, Black women are the least married and our chances of getting married are very slim. So let's do 26.6 plus 8.1. That brings our marriage rates up to 34.7% of Black women who have said, I do. And then we got to count in the separated 3.6. So let's add that in too, because separated, you're still legally married. You're still legally married. Oh, I messed up. Okay, 34.7 plus 3.6. That's 38.3%. So 38.3% of Black women ages 15 and up have said I do. We can confirm that from these numbers. Now let's check these numbers for Black men though, because I didn't do it this way for Black men. Okay, so everyone remember this 38.3. Actually, I'm gonna write it down so that I don't forget. I'm gonna write it down some doggone where. I'm gonna write it in the chat so I don't forget this number. Okay, thank you. Someone wrote it. Okay, 38.3% for Black women, right? Who have said I do, period, in life from that age group. So let's just add up the Black men. Let's just see what it looks like for them. It's either going to be around the same or a little bit higher, or maybe it won't be higher. I don't know. 32.8 Black men are currently married. Then we have the 2.5, and then we add the separated. So it's 38.2. Okay. So it's 38.2 compared to 34, or what was it for Black women, guys? Oh God. It was like 34.8 for Black women or something like that, right? Or am I tripping? But either way, they love to paint it on Black women like we're just so much so at the bottom, but Black men are barely in front of us. Barely. Not even by a full 10th of a percentage. They're barely ahead. And they're really only ahead because they have more interracial marriages. That's really the only reason why they're so ahead, because they marry out twice as much. We all know this. So if it wasn't for them marrying out as much, it'd be just about even. Almost just about even. Yeah, it was like 34 something. Either way, it's less than 5% of a difference. So, these Black men love to brag about their marriage rates, but they make it seem like it's over 20% of a difference. It's not even 5. It's not even a full solid 5. Like, these men are clowns. These men are clowns. And it's only the way it is because they married out twice as much. That's it. And you got to consider that the Black man's population decreases once he reaches 18. How many of y'all women is trying to marry an 18-year-old Black man? I'm not. Okay, I'm in my late 20s. I don't want no 18-year-old. So we have to keep that into consideration. Like I've mentioned before on my channel, the book is Marriage for White People. Ralph Richard Banks, a PhD from Stanford, literally says that there are not enough marriage eligible Black men for Black women. There's just not. And forget all of their qualifications. They barely survive past the age of 18 compared to Black women. Their population drops at the age of 18. And then when they get older, they definitely gone. Like, let's go back to those stats. Here they are, right here. Right? 59% of Black women 65 and up are still alive, compared to only 40% of Black men. Right? So all this dying alone, it's most likely going to happen anyway. It's most likely going to happen anyway if you marry a Black man, because they all be gone. They all be gone regardless. So never let that be a fear for you. Just be prepared for it, no matter really who you marry, because men in general die off faster than women. So it doesn't make sense to be scared about that or to be worried. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. So that's the main things for these stats. I mean, these stats go into everything. That's the main thing for these stats as far as family and relationships, which I wanted to talk about the most in regards to the single motherhood. But if you want to check out these stats, they're on the census website. I'll drop the link. You can scroll through it, and it'll go into schools. It'll go, and it's all broken down, right? That Black demographics website, this is where they get their stats from. They get it right here because it gives you all the same information, right? So, the interesting thing is there's more Black boys who are enrolled in school from the 12th grade, but an overwhelming majority of them don't really go to college afterwards. Only 23% enroll in a school. For women, the men outnumber us up to 12th grade, but then we outnumber them by a full 10th of a percentage to enroll in college, right? So let's look at the college rates. 13% of Black people have a bachelor's degree as a whole. 25% of Black women have their degree, or I guess the ones that are enrolled in school, maybe. And then only 19% for Black men. So looking at all these stats, you can conclude that there are not enough Black men that even are on your level as far as just as simple as education. If we just looked at education. Okay, here's another one. Good thing I didn't click off. Fertility. Black fertility. Women ages 15 to 50 years old make up 10 million of the Black women. Women 15 to 50 years old who had a birth in the past 12 months of the time this stat was taken in 2019, so from 2018 to 2019 then, was 567 births for Black women. Unmarried women 15 to 50 who had births in the past of 2018 and 19 was 356. As a percent of all women with a birth in the past of all women in the past 12 months was 62. So I guess all women, including white, Hispanic. So this is a very high number for Black women to have had kids with no ring. But remember, I also showed you guys on the Pew Research Center that having a child with a Black man, you only have an 8% chance of becoming his wife. Where is that number? It's right here if you guys can read this. Married fathers, however, are more likely than unmarried fathers to be white at a rate of 61% and less likely to be Black at a rate of 8%. Married fathers are more likely than unmarried fathers. Like, what? Am I reading this right? Can you guys correct me if I am not reading this right? I am reading this right. Married fathers are more likely to be white and less likely to be Black, is what it's saying. Is what it's saying. And it even says the graph right here. It even says the graph right here. Okay, I didn't actually notice this. Oh, where is it? Do you guys see this graph? Do you guys see this graph? Do you guys see what I see? That among mothers at the bottom, right here, it says married, white, married, or and married Black mothers, 7% of Black mothers, 21% Hispanic, 10% Asian. Solo fathers, this is by percentage. Solo fathers are 51% of them are white, 61% of solo fathers are white that are married. 16% of solo fathers Black compared to married that are Black. Sounds about right to me. Sounds about right to me. So ladies, if you have kids, if you want to choose a father, right? And you choose a Black man, 8% chance he'll make you your wife. 15% chance he'll live with you. 16% chance. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong part. No, right part. 8%, no matter your race of the woman, actually. You don't have to be a Black woman. If you want to choose a race for a father as a woman, 8% chance the Black man will marry you. 15% chance he will cohabitate with you. 16% chance. 16% chance that he'll be solo with your kids. So the solo is out of this, to be honest, because if he's going to stay with you, if the Black man is going to stay with you, he's either cohabitating or he's going to marry you. So that's where the woman can look at. This has to do with just the men who take full-on responsibility for their kid, solo. That's what solo means. Solo parenting. You have full responsibility, no help whatsoever. Right? So actually I stand corrected. Hold on, I misinterpreted that. So if you're a woman, no matter your race, and you procreate with a Black man, 8% chance he'll make you a wife. 15% chance he'll just live with you. And that's it. And the numbers are very low for Asian people because, you know, they don't even play that. Asian people. So if you want to get with an Asian man, the likelihood of him not even setting you up for this type of situation is pretty high. Right? So I wanted to give you guys these stats, but I really wanted to address the lie that Black women are sleeping around with so many pookies time after time again, and all having the pookies babies, and the good clean Black man is innocent, and when he do have a baby, he steps up to the plate. No. 89% of children that have a solo parent belong to Black women. That's it. It's a matter of who has custody. It's not a matter of who's sleeping with who and how much of a whore you are. It's a matter of custody, guys. 89% of the Black mothers, they just have custody of their kids. That's all that means. And 11% for the Black fathers have custody. That's it. That's it. Maybe these mothers, the father died. They got divorced and won custody. Or probably another major issue is the father just left. He just left her. He just left her. Like, there's no way that these mothers created the babies alone. And I already showed you guys the stats that the Black man's population goes down drastically by the time he gets 65 years old. Not even half of Black men reach not even a full 50% of Black men reach the age of 65 and up. And that was the biggest change. So let me go back to that. Let's look at that one more time. That population. was like all the way at the top. Here it is. 35. So since the black man's population goes down drastically once he hits 65 and up, it is safe to say that black men die a lot, probably in their 50s, to go from 46 to 40, right? But black women are surviving even more 65 and up. This is the census website, ladies. This website says .gov. Anything that says .gov is a government-backed agency providing this information. It is not a scam. You cannot use .gov unless you are a government agency. The entire United States internet knows that. Right? Black men are most alive as boys. As boys. They're the most alive as boys at a rate of 50%. 50%. Once they get over the age of 18, it goes down. It goes down. Now this says 18 years and over. This one says 18 to 34, and then it goes more and more. So, okay, I think I understand. So these two are just under 18 as a whole, and the second one is 18 and up as a whole. And then it breaks it down into those increments so that you can see where the decrease starts. So yes, the decrease starts for black men at the age of 18. It decreases. So black men are the most alive under the age of 18 as boys, and then they start to decrease 19 and above. And they barely not even half of the population is in existence once they turn 65 and up. The numbers for income, yes, it is on here too. Let me go down to that. That's a good one, Princess. That actually has a lot to do with it too. And there's also what's it called? Numbers for employment, because I know you guys all heard of that report that came out that black men are the most unemployed and they're costing the government $50 billion. So the single motherhood one I'm talking about, this is Pew Research. I will drop this in the Pew Research link. I will drop it in the chat for you guys. And then the census for all things black people that came out in 2019. Keep this in mind. This is 2019. So the numbers for 2022 could have possibly changed. I don't know, but this is what's there. Okay. So for employment and income for black people, so for population of black people 16 years old and up, it's 32 million of us. 63% of that age group of 16 and up black people, 63% of them are in the labor force. The civilian labor force is 62. Employed is 57% for all black people. Unemployed, 4.8. Is that? Okay. Unemployment rate, 7.7. So I think there is a difference here. You have the number of people, the percentage of people who are actually unemployed, and then you have the unemployment rate, which is the rate of which people are unemployed or become unemployed. It's a rate. So it's not a number, it's a rate. It's a measurement, right? From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong. So for black women 16 and up, 63% of us are in the labor force. 62% of us are in the civilian. 58% of us are employed. 58% of us are employed. 4.4% of us are unemployed. So that's what I'm saying about the census is they don't have, it says Black females, but there's nothing for Black men on here. And then it just goes on to the next one. So I don't know why they don't have males 16 and up. Right? I don't know. So for workers 16 and up, for Black workers 16 and up, they were able to get to work with either a car, truck, or van, and they drove alone, 72%. That's good. 8% of them had to carpool, 9% used public transportation, 2% walked. That's good. Okay, so male civilian employed population 16 and over is only 8 million Black men 16 and up. Okay, so I don't think so they don't have a statistic data or a statistic like they did for the Black woman on who's employed, but they basically also say it right here. Black male civilians who are employed over the age of 16 is 8 million. So let's just kind of do some math. We can do that ourselves. 293. That's how many Black men over the age of 16 are employed. Out of, and we can do this by how many employed Black people, or no, I'm sorry. How would I calculate this? Well, we have the population 16 years old and older. 32 million of them have jobs. And the females were 17. No. So does this mean, oh crap. Whoops. So does this mean that 8 million Black men have jobs, but 17 million Black women have the jobs? Dang, now I lost. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I did not lose my place. Oh no. I completely read that wrong. Sorry guys, I'm not a math person. Black woman 16 and up is 17 million of us. But 63% of us are in the labor force as well. Okay, so let's just get that accurate number. 63.2%. No, that wouldn't be right. Wouldn't it be like, let's just round it. So it would be 63%. So 0.63 times 17. Am I doing this right, guys? Please confirm. Okay, so 63% of 17 million Black women equals 11 million Black women that are in the labor force. And we just saw they didn't have a number for Black men. But this one right here says male civilian employed population 16 years and up. Okay. So remember what I showed you guys. They gave us the Black female population for ages 16 and up. And this is how many of them are actually employed or in the labor force, which is 63% of those Black women are in the labor force, which comes out to 11 million of us that are in the labor force. And male civilian employed population 16 years old and up is 8 million employed civilian Black men. And then it breaks down everything that they're in. Oh, well, it already does the work kind of for me. I don't even know why. So female civilian employed population outnumbers Black men. 10 million Black women are employed and 8 million Black men are employed. Oh, but Princess, you wanted to know The earnings. Okay, so here's the earnings. Because you're right, they do make it seem like Black men are just rich with all this money or whatever. Okay. Let me see if I can interpret this correctly. So we have income in the past 12 months. So income in the past 12 months, this is a 2019 study, remember? So that means income from 2018 to 2019 is what it's telling us. So the median household, meaning not just single Black men, household. You cannot have a household as a single person. You are not a household. You're a single parent. You're a single person household living alone. It's 43,000. Income, right? Social Security, SSI, retirement, food stamps. Okay, it's families. Let's see. This is probably what. So families for men, male householder, no spouse present, family makes up 10%. 10% of what? This is what I'm confused about. It's still a low number though. If it's 10% of this 81,000 median, it's 43 for female householder, no husband parent. So is median household income individuals. So for median income in dollars, 81,545. Male householder with no spouse, but it's only 10%, right? And if you know anything about just the wage gaps, men in general make more money than women in this nation. All men, no matter their race, and all women, no matter her race, makes less than men. So let's put that out there. It's not like this is an exclusive thing for Black women. It is not. It is not. It is only for. It is only for. It's for everybody. There's no exclusivity for this for Black women. All right. So female householder, no husband, 43%. So this one's a little hard to read for me, but I have it up. If you guys can read this and understand this, let me know in the chat. I can also drop a link if you guys want to call in and you believe you can explain this better than me. I can do that. I just dropped the link. Right? Okay, mean earnings, dollars for full-time year-round workers. For men, 52, for women, 46. Okay. For full-time year-round workers. So for mean earnings, dollars for full-time year-round workers, this does not specify single men. So this can be Black men in general, Black men who are married, Black men who are cohabitating, whatever it is. It doesn't mean single Black men as well. And the same for the Black woman. That is not specified here. I forgot the difference between mean and median. I forgot. But median earnings, full-time year-round workers, men are 41,000, women are 37. So there is a difference. The Black men are earning more, but barely. I mean, if we're going off of the median earnings, I think median is just the average of it all. I think. It's the median, it's the middle, I think. But it's not It's not by much, guys. Like, if the black men want to say they're ahead in something, it's never going to be by a lot. It's never going to be by a lot. So for them to have all these things to say about how black women are quote unquote behind, it's not by a lot. And all other women are also behind their men as well, as far as earnings. As far as earnings, no group of women is out earning men in the US. It's only men that out earn other men, meaning white men and Asian men are out earning everybody for the most part at this time. So that's a study. It goes on to talk about health insurances, poverty rates, all this other stuff. But this is an important video. So please like this video if you haven't. Okay, median means the exact middle. Okay, that's what I thought. It's like the middle. I was not good at math, guys. I was not good at math. But it's not hard to read these statistics though, because they're all done. It's all done for you here. Doesn't pull up on your iPhone. I'm not sure if it will work on. I mean, I'm on my laptop, so I don't know. But I really wanted to debunk this 89% motherhood. All the men want to say is because the black women are running around having babies left and right by the same pookies. That is false. This has to do with custody. 89% of the mothers are solo parents. Among solo parents, the vast majority, 81%, are mothers as a whole, 19% are fathers as a whole, but it looks different for black women who are 89%. So that's another thing. Amongst all solo parents everywhere here in the US, 81% are mothers, white, Hispanic, and Asian are mothers. But it's only when you get to black women it's increased to 89. It's increased to 89. So we're still, they're making it seem like it's so much. It's so much. Like, from hearing just the black men, you think that it's 89% for us, and then for other women it's like 40% or something. Like, so low. But the other woman is right behind us, child. If you don't know like, this is real life. This is real life widespread manipulation and degradation of black women on the internet. Non-black mothers are at 81%, or really, like, all mothers in general are 81%. And then all fathers are 19. It has to do with who is taking care of the child 100%. That's all that means. That's all that means, guys. Stop saying that black women are the only group of women out here having pookies and ray rays shoot at the club and having all these kids. That's not true. All that means, out of all the kids who are being born to solo parents, the majority of them belong to the mothers, because the father is either dead, doesn't have custody, so maybe he's remarried and has other kids, or he just simply isn't in the home. He's just not in the home. That's what that means. Do you have to look a certain way to practice hypergamy? A friend of mine asked this question. Is there a certain look you have to look like? I know you have to look visually feminine. So I did a few videos on hypergamy. I don't believe there's a look you need to have, because if you look at CEOs, I know it's off topic, but just to answer your question, Princess, if you look at, like, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, their wives look basic as hell. They look basic as hell. And they are most definitely in hypergamous relationships. I mean, so I don't know. I think it's very subjective. The thing about men who really got it like that, they are so ingrained into their work, into their legacy. They're not checking for IG models and glamour chicks. I mean, if that's what you want to have a look, that's fine. But real men of means they're looking for something completely different. It's really the low level minded men that are so focused on the external when it comes to having a wife. That's been my experience dating. Usually the man the man I'm currently with, he got it like that, and he is super basic. He is super basic. Yeah, Miss J. And our marriage rates are so abysmal is because we keep focusing on marrying the group that is the least likely to marry. Yeah, that is the truth. I mean, you see the stats right here that only 8% of Black men end up being married amongst the solo fathers. Now, maybe I can break this down even further. Maybe I can also say, well, I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't really know how I can break this down. All I know is that it says among fathers that have custody, 16% are Black, 15% cohabitate as Black men, and only 8% marry. It said so. It said so in this last paragraph here. Where is it? Is my computer freezing to you guys? Oh, here we go. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, it's still running good. My computer completely froze. Got too many tabs open. Let me close some. Um okay. Oh, it keeps getting stuck. Okay, so here's the number again. Here it is. Married fathers, however, are more likely than unmarried fathers to be white. So this full sentence, if you took out the however part, it says married fathers are more likely to be white. 61% are. 61% of white fathers are married. 8% of Black fathers are married. The population decreases for Black men once they turn 18. Not even half of the population for Black men make it to 65 years old, right? So we can definitely include that a large number of Black women who are solo parents have a deceased Black man that was the father. And then they also, what I've also have heard is that they're saying that Black women, 15% of them are left single mothers by the white fathers or by non Black men or whatever that is, right? It's the other, what's where, what are the other numbers, right? So 15%, if you had to break that down with race, 15% are by white men. That still means the majority of fathers for these single Black women are Black. That's still what that means. That's still what that means. So, they can bring up the small groups of Black women who are single moms for white men, but it's not the majority. It's not the majority. It's not the majority. Yes, excellent point. There's so many Black kids who don't even have their Black fathers on their birth certificate. Exactly. These numbers are just from what's reported. You know how many Black people grow up saying, "Oh, I don't know who my dad is. His name wasn't on the birth certificate." You know how many those are? So this number is probably even more so, right? So I wanted to debunk these lies because, they're lies and they're not true. And Black women are not a loosey goose group of women having babies left and right and proud of it and happy about it, right? Like that's nowhere near what's happening. Nowhere near what's happening at all. The single mother rate means that these women are being solo parents. It's not even single mother, it says solo parents. Once again, I will say, that the solo parents are just people who parent alone. That's all it means, guys. They parent alone. That's it. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. So, this is what I wanted to show you guys. So, I'm going to leave this live up. And blow this live up. Blow this live up, guys, because these are the facts. I literally showed you guys the facts. They're out here lying on Black women in regards to single motherhood rates. They're out here lying. I'll put a link to everything that I showed you guys in the description box of this video. Stay woke out here and stay safe. I just showed you guys the numbers. You are most likely to be a wife with a white man when you have his child by a rate of 60% versus a Black man if you have his child at a rate of 8%. Okay? So I hope you ladies enjoyed this live. It was going to be something completely different, but I had to change it. I had to change it to this. So make sure to like this video. And until next time, ladies, bye.